Greetings and welcome to the Salty Spittoon. Today I'll be the floor boss of my first ever preview, review, and view. Now say that 3 times fast. Thanks to the folks from Next Studio and Team 17 for providing me with today's with today's subject, Crown Trick, which is a new entry to one of my favorite RPG subgenres, roguelike. Wait, is it considered a subgenre? Or maybe it's a main genre. Oh well, whatever. They probably won't drag me in the comments if I'm wrong. Enter a labyrinth that moves as you move, where mastering the elements is key to defeating enemies and uncovering the mysteries of this underground world. With the new experience awaiting every time you enter the dungeon, let the power bestowed by the crown guide you in this challenging adventure. This is according to the description on the Steam page for Crown Trick. Next Studios seems to have breached the indie market with a plethora of games in different genres, so I do look forward to seeing their experience be put to the test. Now how's about a first look? Sees. At first glance, the thing that really stuck out to me about this game was its art style. While not extremely unique or flashy, there is a charm that exists to the design. The dark and ambient backgrounds are in a direct contrast to the more colorful and even comical characters and monsters. The sound design is pretty good as well. I think the word of the day for this first look is ambient. This is the type of music or a muted long play of a game, because the noises aren't offensive and are perhaps relaxing, that I can definitely just kind of vibe with. One thing I appreciate is that there isn't a huge amount of upgradables or items I need to gather to make each run effective. I really think that helps players stay more focused on I need to get good over I can't beat this unless I have good RNG mentalities that are sometimes associated with these type of games. The reason I say this is a healthy transition to my next focus, the game mechanics. I think that perhaps without the addition of this game's unique, I put emphasis on unique because games like Kirk of the Necromancer or Happen a Hero exist, but in my opinion these styles of games are far and few in between, so please don't mind the verbiage. It would be a pretty standard roguelike game. However, this game implements a turn system. Each turn is started off by you initiating an action, i.e. moving, attacking, using skills, or if you press the turn skip button. Who would have guessed? All the enemies will move on the screen accordingly after you. Coupled with the art style, this totally brings me back to when I was in middle school. Me and my friends would play this browser MMO called Dofus. It had a very similar battle mechanic, but this game is what I wanted Dofus to be. It's weird to think I get a game like this almost 15 years later. But you know what? Now that I think about it, perhaps there was some inspiration from Dofus in this game. Again, with the interesting grid turn-based mechanics, the seemingly small weapon pool of sword, axe, gun, and lance that is provided to you right off the bat become interesting experiments now. You also get a recovering blink that will pause time after each successful blink. Remember, the turns don't progress until you move, so that blink is your strongest tool for strategizing or just simply taking a breath. I actually was struggling on the first boss. Like, I kept dying and I was ready to chalk this game up as another Garbo roguelike until I noticed the environment and started to take full advantage of what the devs had to offer me. One of these features was the use of familiars and the skills that they give you. Now, I'm kind of a mid-maxing type of guy. I'll take the strongest thing early game and get as far as I can. Why struggle with your favorite weapon but it has no range and you can't get through the first floor? Well, the familiars work like this. They start you off with a basic one, It gives you 2 skills that you can use multiple times, as long as you have the mana for it. But they have cooldown, so you can't just go spamming it willy-nilly. This ain't Overture, dog. There are also relics. You can pick up as many as you want. And artifacts that double as secondary items. They actually have a lot of really useful abilities, not just a couple of good ones. Leveling up my potion is what really set the pace though. The first NPC you rescue can upgrade your potions. Now, between my ramblings and game footage, you guys should have a better idea of how this game functions mechanically. Now, let's move along to my gripes. Pacing. Pacing is my biggest issue with the game. Now note, before I get into this, they don't dump all the unlockable and upgradable things post-death stuff on you all at once. So when I say pacing, it doesn't refer to kind of like information dump or just a lack of information until like you reach a certain time. It's the illusion of content, which I think is one of my biggest gripes with the genre. What do I mean by illusion of content, you say? Well, how about this, right? There always exists a point in a roguelike where you hit a hard wall and you can no longer progress. So you hunker down and start grinding, restarting your runs over and over again until you're equipped enough to progress in the game. In my opinion, it can go from good game design to filler content real fast, especially if you notice the wall really early in the game. Like, I don't know, right after the tutorial. However, again, it did not take me an awfully long period of time to figure it out. However, I can't imagine someone picking this up, and this someone isn't someone who sank countless hours into other roguelike games. Maybe, you know, maybe, right? Strong maybe, right? However, honestly, outside of that, I didn't find too many issues, mechanically, functionally, or otherwise, as Crown Trick was designed with care. Really shows. Now, let's do something you don't hear too frequently from me right here at this salty spittoon. Video game pros in short form. Something like a list. I'd say this game is easy to get into. This is something that I would honestly 4 out of 5 recommend to newer players looking to get into the genre. Despite what I said in my gripes section, I don't think design wise it's off-putting kind of how long it takes to get the ball running. It would be 5 out of 5 otherwise if I didn't have that little subjective questioning there, but I very infrequently recommend games to people, so I'd say 4 out of 5 is pretty good in that regard. It's not overly complicated in regards to resurrection starts, and they pace out rolling in new game features. Like, you don't even see an item shop until the 2nd floor. Interesting combat mechanics. And finally, it's not flippin' Genshin Impact. Wow. That looks like a pretty friggin' solid list of pros. Especially that last one. The game is available on the market, so I'm gonna get my lazy ass to link the game in the description. Like I wrote in the script. Yes, in script Kelly, I did the thing. If you buy the game with the link, I also get a cut of the profits, which is pretty cool. Thanks everyone for sticking around. Like, I'm gonna have a lot of fun editing this video and post. If you like what you see, be sure to follow, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a small channel, and every little interaction is of huge benefit for me. Let's see, if this video gets 10 likes, then I'll stream this game, and if it gets 13, yeah, regular number, I'll make more videos in this format. Okay, bye. Okay, leave. The spittoon is closing now. You're now leaving. You're now exiting the vicinity. please leave.